What defines a survival horror game? It's not uncommon for survival games to take place in hostile and dystopian environments. The areas may be reminiscent of the worst places on Earth. In other words, no place you want to be in. Usually you have a minimum of equipment, weapons and food. One can expect to be the one being hunted instead of being the hunter. If you don't save on your resources, you risk becoming completely helpless. How should you be able to eliminate your enemies if you run out of ammunition? The places may be gloomy and dark. A flashlight may be required, but if the batteries are depleted, then it's basically game over. You won't see anything. In addition, one sometimes encounters 1 or 2 dead people who have probably been slaughtered. This game, 35mm, is a survival horror game, but the question is if it's any good. In this review, I discuss basic aspects of the game and how it's experienced on the Nintendo Switch. Feel free to subscribe to my channel for more reviews and other content. And now, let's check out 35mm on the Nintendo Switch. This game is about 2 men who are in the wasteland. A global epidemic has led to people fleeing cities and settling in rural areas. The world has more or less collapsed. But why are you in the wasteland? What is your goal? I don't want to spoil it, but I can say that the game has different endings depending on what choices you make. This allows you to get different answers to what happened. I think the narrative in general is quite easy to understand. No ambiguities. You usually get information through conversations with your partner or when you find different letters. The information helps to explain the dystopian world you're in and describes the fate of other people. It's really dark and adds to the tone of the game. This is not a cheerful experience, but I like it. I usually think that third-person games do better on PC than on console, and sometimes it's noticeable in this game as well. At one point you need to eliminate a couple of dogs. They are really fast and you have to hurry, otherwise they will kill you. This means that you have to aim fast and shoot. Unfortunately, I find it to be difficult to aim with a control. It doesn't feel so intuitive and smooth. In these situations I would have preferred a mouse and keyboard. In addition, I think there is an imbalance between walking and running. Why do you walk so slow and run so fast? Look at this. It's so frustrating, so slow. I wish the game developer increased the speed you walk. It would have been a more pleasant experience. The graphics are a real highlight. This is the beginning of the game, an eerie forest with a white, grey and black color scheme. It feels just right. The wooden buildings are abandoned or destroyed, no one lives here anymore. It's so gloomy and at the same time gives a perfect dystopian feeling. Sometimes you are in darkened tunnel systems that need to be lit up with a flashlight. I like the smoke animations. You get that feeling that you want to get out of there as soon as possible. A really inhospitable place. You also come to a mental hospital. Oh well, these patients have had better days. I like it. This game contains a lot of puzzles. Yeah, literally. Pretty quickly you find a compass that leads you in the right direction. This makes the experience quite streamlined. You get from place to place and don't really have to think so much about what you need to do. However, it gets trickier over time. You get no clear indications of what to do, which path is the right one, or which objects you need to find. Therefore, it becomes extremely important to read and understand all the notes you find. They provide clues as to where one should investigate to solve various problems. The puzzles are quite entertaining indeed. They can be easy to solve, but sometimes cryptic. Everything also gets harder over time, especially when you run around in the sewers. Here you have to use your flashlight to be able to navigate. It's like a maze with narrow dark corridors where there is rubbish everywhere. It's a lot of fun actually, because you have to explore every corner to get ahead. The game runs well on the Nintendo Switch, no crashes or noticeable slowdowns. However, I had problems with my buddy. Seriously, what is he doing? Why is this man bugged? Why is he walking straight into a wall? It will be difficult to move on in the game, as I am dependent on him following me, but he doesn't want to. He just wants to stand there and go straight into a wall. There is no alternative but to reset the game, unfortunately. I also thought this was weird. I got ambushed and stabbed, but a few seconds later I am up and running as if nothing had happened. I should lie down and crawl or something, but no, instead I have superpowers, so no problems. 35mm is a relatively short game. It can be done in under 2 hours if you know what to do. It should be pointed out that this is an indie game created by an incredibly small team. In terms of gameplay, it's a varied experience with different quests and things that need to be done. You ride a trolley, run around a city, explore the wilderness and visit places where anarchy prevails. Yeah, it feels like the game developer has pushed many different elements into a fairly short game, and it works perfectly okay, at least I didn't get bored bored. The game has a certain replay value, especially if you want to experience the different endings. You make different choices during the game, and if you want a holistic experience of the game, it may be worth playing through a couple of times. Unfortunately, the control isn't so good. I find it difficult to aim if you play on a console, and also you go so damn slowly. However, the graphics are really good. They have managed to capture the perfect feeling needed in a survival horror game. I recommend a purchase if you like games where you have limited resources, puzzles, and inhospitable environments. It's not a perfect game, but can be worth picking up if you like games like Outlast, for example. Please subscribe to my channel for more reviews and other content. Have a good day, bye!